Noticing changes in your breathing is a helpful way to get another perspective on how you are feeling. Have we noticed what happens to the breath when we are tense and in pain? Our breaths become short and shallow, sometimes almost disappearing. Or when we are relaxed and happy, our breaths become slower and full. We can actually harness this awareness of changes in our breath as a way to help us notice any changes in our mood and how we feel, and to then use the breath to bring the mind and body back, anchored to a stable place. Usually we are not aware of our breathing. It is much like our heart beating or our digestive system. It is just happening of its own accord without our thinking about it. But when we tune into our breath and become aware of it, which we can do at any time as it is always with us, we can create this stability in our mind, emotions, and body. Paying attention to your breathing doesn't mean that you need to control, slow down, deepen, or force the breath in any way. It just means paying attention to our breath as an anchor. There are 5 key benefits to using the breath as your anchor. Breathing can't happen in the future. It can't happen in the past. It happens now. So focusing on the breath focuses you and grounds you in the now. Wherever you go, your breath is always with you, so it is always available as a window into your emotions, physical sensations, and thoughts. The brain can only process so much at any given time. If mental resources are devoted to attending to the breath, this means fewer mental resources devoted to processing pain, which dials down the volume knob for pain. This is not another clever problem-solving approach, though as we are not doing this to tune out, we are engaging in this practice to tune in, specifically to the breath and the present moment. You can liken this practice of tuning out and tuning in to adjusting a tuning knob on a radio. Mindfulness of the breath embodies an approach that we will be cultivating throughout this workshop. In this approach, we will be present and accept the moment without trying to change it. You don't need to do anything for the breath to breathe itself. Attending to this breath, to this moment, has the potential to bring a quality of inner peace to experience, to transform experience by letting go of the need to problem solve and fix or control it. Tuning in with this attitude of allowing, simply allowing the breath to do its thing, while you watch the process as an observer, allows you to experience a wider approach on how you can respond to pain, strong emotions, and troublesome thoughts. Finally, attending to the breath as an anchor to the present means that we won't get hooked by old unhelpful patterns of mind that lead to emotions such as anxiety, depression, and anger that make pain worse. Attending to the felt sensation of the breath allows us to catch ourselves when we are drifting into unhelpful mind patterns and to flexibly shift our focus before we get hooked or stuck. This may actually reduce the amount of pain signals that are processed by the brain, reducing the amount of pain we feel. This exercise, the 3-minute breathing space, ventilates situations, allows you to step out of automatic pilot, and brings you back to present moment awareness. If you notice your mind wanders, that's no problem. It is what minds do. As many times as you notice it, simply observe it, perhaps label it thinking, and then each time, non-judgmentally and gently return your awareness back to your breath, the movements of the breath, the feeling of the breath moving into the body on each in-breath and moving back out on each out-breath. And in doing this practice, we become increasingly more in tune with how our breath mirrors our mind, body, and mood state. With practice, we learn to use the breath as an anchor to the present. To harness the breath in this way, we practice precisely attending with a singular focus on the movements of the breath and letting any arising distractions, whether they be thoughts, feelings, sensations, just come and go as they do without grasping or holding on to them. Just letting them pass through us without hooking us and demanding attention. Over the course of our time together, we will be exploring the ways we can harness the breath as a means to cope with pain and to anchor ourselves to the present moment. This practice is highly portable. Everywhere you go, this practice will be available to you, and so it will allow you to bring the mindfulness skills you are learning into any situation you find yourself. It is exhausting to carry around regret about the past and/or anticipation about what needs to be done today, this week, this month, this year, which turns into a lifetime of anticipated to-do lists. It is a burden that doesn't need to be carried. The present moment is all we ever have, and tuning into it during your daily life allows energy to flow through into the task, conversation, whatever experience you may be facing, and allows you to complete just this moment's task. In engaging in learning about and practicing meditation, it is not that we ultimately want to become good meditators. This practice is training the mind to be openly attentive, non-judgmental, accepting, and mindful during the moments of our lives out in the real world, not just when we are sitting in meditation. It is not unusual, though, for people to forget about infusing this practice into their day-to-day lives. For this reason, we are inviting you to practice this exercise of mindful breathing during everyday moments. There are 3 steps to this exercise. Step 1, awareness. As this is a brief practice, you will bring yourself into an upright and supportive sitting posture to signal to your mind you are switching into being mode. You will close your eyes, bringing awareness to what is happening in this moment, asking yourself, what thoughts are around? Emotions? Sensations? Just acknowledging your experience in this moment, whether it be seen as pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, with a sense of equanimity. Step 2, anchoring. Having acknowledged your experience, you will then focus your attention, narrowing and focusing it fully on the breath, aware as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Not controlling the breath, simply tuning into the felt sensations of the breath. Using the breath as an anchor to the present moment to reconnect with awareness and a sense of stillness and spaciousness. Step 3, opening. Having returned to and anchored yourself to your breathing and the present moment, you will then let your attention expand outwards to openly include not only the breath, but also the body as a whole, holding it all in this open, more spacious awareness as you go about your day.